What's up, Super Cool Nerds? Ricardo here for another edition of Super Cool Nerd Nation, and I have my friend and my coworker Andre. How you doing, man?
What's up, baby? Too sweet, me.
Too sweet. Awesome, man. Well, welcome. So let's dive right into it. Let's go right into the both thing that we both absolutely love: wrestling. We kind of really bonded over wrestling.
Yeah.
And, we talk wrestling a lot at work. How did you get into wrestling? Do you remember how that happened?
So I came in tail end, or maybe midway through Austin McMahon when that started. I guess 97, 98.
Okay, that's around
roughly.
That's around when I started to WWE or F at the time.
Right. And at that point, you still had Monday Night War between them and WCW. So the argument in school was always WWF, WCW, Goldberg,
Sting.
Austin, Sting,
Rock.
Undertaker. I mean. But yeah, that peak of that feud, of the back and forth between the employee and the boss, and the fact that Stone Cold just had not a care in the world. Plus, seeing Vince getting stunned every other night, all things considered now.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that Austin McMahon feud, that's when I jumped into it. Then it escalated to Rock's reign in 2000, John Cena's debut with Angle, Shane McMahon being Shane McMahon.
You mean Sweato McMahon? So I read Pro Wrestling Insider, and they always call him Sweato McMahon.
Yeah.
Because he sweats like buckets, and it's I'm like, how is he not dehydrated? So.
Well, there was that one time he bled bucket.
That's true.
King of the Ring 02 or 03, whatever it was, with him and Angle.
Angle broke his tailbone on that suplex.
Yeah, and almost broke Shane's neck.
Twice. At least.
Well, maybe 3 times. But yeah, I mean, that was, man, wrestling back then, especially when you compare it to now that the quote-unquote John Cena era is pretty much over and done with, and you look at where WWE is now versus, say, New Japan, which I had the privilege of being at G1 Climax Night 1 here in Dallas, and good God Almighty. I've been to a lot of WWE wrestling in my life when they've come through town.
Yeah.
I have never seen anything like that.
Pure wrestling?
Like, not so much the pure wrestling, just the whole quote-unquote strong style. Hey, it's straight up and we're just going. Like, I've never seen WWE do anything close to that from what I saw last night.
I was hoping we would get that kind of a match, and it's funny because I'm wearing it right now.
Right.
WrestleMania 33, whatever was in New Orleans last year.
I think it was 33, yeah.
Shinsuke versus AJ Styles, and I was like, these guys had legendary matches in Japan, and it just fell flat. And I was like, man.
If you go back and watch that Wrestle Kingdom match versus their WrestleMania match, like, what?
Miles ahead.
Like, what are we doing? And that's, one of the big criticisms now with WWE is how badly they've burned not just the guys that have come over from New Japan or wherever, but you look at all the guys that were in NXT that Vince, during his freak out, brought up, and Bobby Roode, wasted.
Yeah.
American Alpha, wasted.
Man, that was
Sanity, wasted. You had a horror stable for tag team, and you just burned it.
I would have wanted Sanity versus the Wyatt family.
Oh, Sanity versus Wyatt family would have been great.
Or Sanity versus Shield.
Yeah, I mean,
they tried to bring. I mean, they kept bringing them back, but one of them kept getting hurt. So
yeah, well, also bad booking, ladies and gentlemen.
So you got into WWE first. When did you discover like Lucha Libre, like AAA, CMLL, New Japan, Ring of Honor? When did that kind of? Well, I mean, Ring of Honor didn't start coming out until after 2001. So
yeah.
I guess like New Japan, AAA, CMLL.
So New Japan was because of the Bucks and Kenny and being the elite.
So in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, last 4 or 5 years. AAA and Lucha Libre I've always known that stuff's been there. Obviously the Hardy Boys did a few things down there with everyone, and then now you have the Bucks going to war with the Lucha Bros and the partnership between AEW and AAA, which is absolutely fantastic. And we had talked about this, how it seems like AEW is putting over AAA here in the States.
Yeah.
Likewise, you have AEW getting put over, but also losing down in Mexico, which is fine, makes sense.
Yeah.
But I look forward to those partnerships they have, especially with OEW and China with SCU, Strong Hearts. Like, there's the potential here for something special.
Yeah.
Like, for everybody that's felt burned by WWE as of late, that's looking for that alternative and is desperately looking for that alternative, especially when you take into account what's happened to Impact, what's happened to ROH.
Yeah,
It's going to be an interesting couple of months here.
Yeah, especially because Impact started off so strong.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Vince Russo got involved, Hogan got involved, Bischoff to an extent got involved.
Yeah.
And it was just and then what was her name? She took
Dixie Carter.
Dixie Carter. I mean,
Yeah.
great businesswoman, not a wrestling mind.
No.
Not like Tony Khan, who
No.
grew up watching Attitude Era, grew up watching
Yeah.
Ring of Honor and some of the Impact, and he's like, okay, cool. Like, I know what works, what doesn't work. Let's try to take the best of WWE, the best of WCW, the best of all these other companies, and just put it all in. And yeah, there's gonna be a little bit of comedy.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have like the Librarians going on, and and then we had the during Firefest, we had the Hadouken from the Young Bucks and Kenny.
Which was, personally, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
Like,
it's comedy wrestling, but at the same time though, it made sense within the
within
match.
within the context of the match, and if you look at
how they were dressed.
well, not so much how they were dressed, but if you look at Kenny Omega and you look at what he's doing and what Xavier Woods has done, the whole idea of bringing wrestling to quote-unquote the fighting game culture of video games, literally a match made in heaven if you can make it work. And to their credit, they have made it work.
All right, now let me ask you this: do you think Vince made Kofi champion to not only keep New Day from running off to AEW and doing something with Kenny and the Bucks?
I think there's a bit of both, in the sense that you have that and also WWE wanting to hang on to them, especially when you realize that at the start of New Day, when they got put together, how horrible that gimmick was. And then I think it was both Woods and Big E that pitched to Vince and creative to do what they're doing now and give them control over it so that they could try and salvage it.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, we have gold.
Probably the second most sell up until John Cena left. Probably the second most merchandise sold by any
Like individual.
Yeah, in the
Okay.
WWE, I would think. 'Cause
Probably.
Their merch. I mean, I have 3 other shirts.
Yeah.
And I have no John Cena shirts
I don't need it.
because what's one thing we like to do? We like to beat up John Cena.
Yeah. Have fun with that, YouTube. Yeah, I mean, if you look at that whole storyline, it just ended up being this weird, perfect storm, especially when it was supposed to be Mustafa Ali in that spot, which we may or may not be getting that now. I don't know. We shall see how they play it. But it also helps that for the first time in a long time, that push was actually created by
The fans.
us.
The first time since probably Daniel Bryan for WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, I'd probably go back to Bryant, and then obviously CM Punk back in Chicago when he came back after WWE botched that disaster.
464 days, and then they fucked it up.
Literally. But that's literally what it's taking. I mean, for anybody that hasn't listened to it, everybody needs to listen to The Talk is Jericho, The Emancipation of Jon Moxley. Like,
Pooper Scooper. It's some funny shit.
Well, he's not. I mean, that's literally what he said.
Yeah.
Like it, with what Mox, aka Dean Ambrose, with what he said, I mean, he more or less confirmed everything that what most people thought was going on in WWE.
Yeah.
And since then, it's just been a massive, just burying WWE with what's come out over the past few months.
But now Seth Rollins did come out and defend Vince and his quote-unquote ideas, and saying like, yeah, Ambrose just couldn't cut it here.
Well, we know where that's coming from, though. I mean, that's Seth keeping Vince happy for his own benefit, which is what John Cena did.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I get it. Everybody's got to make that money.
I mean, yeah, if you're making close to 7, if not over 7 figures, yeah.
Yeah, and especially when you're tapped to be the guy.
Yeah. Poor Roman Reigns. He was tapped to be the guy, and then
life happened.
Well, no, I mean, even before that, like, I think if he wasn't they weren't trying to push him at the same time, Bryan was still very hot, I think it could have turned out differently for him for a while.
Oh, the whole Shield dynamic could have turned out differently entirely if it wasn't for some very bad booking.
Yeah.
But, that's neither here nor there at this point. I mean, we're seeing it now where WWE is scrambling to get things put together.
Hiring Bischoff and Heyman as more or less second in command now in creative other than Vince. Because it goes Vince, Bischoff and Heyman, and then everyone else.
Everybody else, which is great in theory. I'm excited for it, but...
Well, they already dropped they already said shit for the first time in years.
Yeah, that's
true. And
true.
it's like, cool, that's like a pinky in the water. Not even a toe, like your small pinky toe in the water.
I mean, look, I'm not expecting full-on Attitude Era to come back. That's that's not realistic at all.
And I kind of don't want that either.
No.
I want wrestling.
Yeah, I want the wrestling that I saw at G1. Give me that. Give me that all day, every day. But I also want storytelling. And to me, right now, New Japan tells a story so well. Like, you have no idea what's going on. They just don't lay anything out. Like, it's, we're just going to tease this, we'll have the run-ins, and just call it a day. Like, we don't have anything written down on paper. It's very fluid. And then, obviously, with AEW, they're still sticking to, the old-school WWE style and just
planning ahead.
Yeah, planning ahead, which makes sense, especially since they're so new. But
at the same time, though, they're like, okay, cool, this isn't working. We're not gonna force it. We're gonna go this way instead and see what happens here. So while they have plans laid out, so that way they have direction. They're like, cool, like it's very linear, but at the same time, we can move stuff around if we need to. So.
I mean, the best example of that will be with the buy-in, the pre-show for AEW going into Fight for the Fallen with Sonny Kiss versus the Librarian. Google Sonny Kiss and just have fun. Have fun. Yeah.
That's gonna be a fun match.
It's either gonna be fun or it's gonna be a train wreck. Maybe
some train wrecks could be fun. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's good.
So with wrestling, there's a lot of, like, especially like Seth Rollins and with the Bucks and Kenny, a lot of the gear comes from, they're nerds. You know, that we've seen Rollins come out as the Night King, the White Walker from Game of Thrones. We've seen him come out as Thanos.
CrossFit Jesus.
CrossFit Jesus.
Sorry, I had to.
No, you're good. We've seen the Bucks come out as Elvis, and we've seen
Yeah.
them come out as from Street Fighter Ken and
Ken and Ryu.
Ken and Rio, and then Kenny was supposed to be
Akuma.
but his gear didn't get there in time, so he had the symbol on the back, but that's
It's close.
and the hair.
It
yeah.
was fine.
So they're like, oh yeah, the match is on Saturday. Cool, you get your gear on Monday. Can't ever use this ever again. So, so with wrestling, did you get into like nerd stuff before or after or during wrestling?
Oh, I was already nerding out. I mean, the 90s were the quote-unquote nerd revolution in America.
I like that. I haven't heard that used that term before, but I like that. It fits.
Well, if you think about it, look at what we got in '96 with. You had Pokemon release.
Yeah.
You had Toonami start. You had Digimon a couple months later, I think, after Pokemon.
Yeah.
Or it might have been '97.
And then 94, 93, we had Batman, but we also had Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Right, you had Batman the Animated Series, you had Superman the Animated Series, so you had the
Justice League. Well, that came in 2000.
2001.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the quote-unquote comic revolution and bringing that back, but really it started in '96 with Pokemon, and granted, we had Japanese anime before that.
But not to the extent that
Not
we
like
had
that.
it. Yeah. With
that,
Toonami.
that kicked off a myriad of things that, I mean, Dragon Ball Z is arguably one of the most influential things to ever come to America. And then you add on top of that Gundam Wing, Cowboy Bebop,
Akira. Because that wasn't really.
Yes, but Akira's is its own special cup of tea.
Okay.
Especially considering the movie doesn't nearly cover everything that's in that manga. I mean, I love Akira to death.
Yeah.
It's just would I show that to somebody starting out? No, because they will probably not get it.
Which is funny because he told me you need to watch Akira.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll see it at some point.
Which is fair, but you're far enough into, and I think you're far enough into anime fandom that you would appreciate not only how beautifully animated the film is, but I think you would appreciate it for what it is and what it means to the legacy of anime in the U.S.
Did you get into anime first, or did you get into manga first, or manga, however you say it?
It works both ways. It was anime first because it was Pokemon card game, Pokemon video games. Then manga and all that came later after. Let's see, probably about after Bebop started, Cowboy Bebop. And then getting into Trigun and Mobile Fighter G Gundam, Gundam 0083, just the entire Gundam franchise in general, which happy 40th anniversary.
There you go. 40 years, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think. I've got the first episode of the retelling of the original series on the DVR that I need to watch. Looking forward to that. But yeah, anime is just this amazing, wonderful thing that came into the country at the right time. I mean,
were you watching cartoons before anime, or?
Oh yeah,
but anime is the one that really kind of pushed you over that cliff, or over that edge, and just to really.
Yeah, because by that point, Cartoon Network and Boomerang, the old school channel, had more or less gone through its evolution, and everything was kind of set with their original programming. Most of the old school stuff, like the old Godzilla cartoon, the old Super Friends cartoon, by about 2000, most of that had already been rotated off the air. You had the cartoon show, which gave us, Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls.
Ed and Eddie.
Yeah, Ed and Eddie.
Time Squad.
Was Time Squad part of that?
I believe so. It was late night. Cow and Chicken.
Yeah, Cow and Chicken was a big one.
Johnny Bravo. Man.
Yeah, the original content at that point, which was Cartoon Network's heyday from 2000, starting in 2000 till about 2009. Really? I think
I would scale back just like 98 to about 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
Because 99, I remember. So there's, for me, like certain years stick out.
Yeah.
And like 1999 was just like, that was a big year. Other than, I mean, we had The Matrix, we had Star Wars, all this other stuff come back. But also like that was like when NNA debut. That was like the height of Dexter. That was the height of Pokemon. It was the height of everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of, for me, that's my starting point. Like the end of 99, the end of 98, 99, and then all the way, for me, probably till about 2002, 2003, because that's when I was like 7th, 8th grade, going into high school. So, but yeah, so with manga, when you start reading manga, did you read books before then, or did you not?
A little bit. I mean, I got into the Harry Potter craze. I read all the way through, I still have them, but I think I read the first 5 by the time I fell out with it, just because of, school and other shenanigery. Plus video games then were just, What
were some of your favorite video games? It's a rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's very much a rabbit hole. Obviously, GTA 3.
Okay.
Vice City.
I still remember those commercials.
Yeah.
With the Flock of Seagulls soundtrack.
Yeah. I mean, Vice City. It could be argued that Vice City had a bigger impact on gaming versus GTA 3, but that's an apples and oranges taste.
Was 3 San Andreas?
No, 4 was 5 is technically 5 is the revisit to San Andreas. San Andreas was its own game that came out after Vice City and GTA 3.
Okay. I don't remember anything about GTA 3. I just remember the commercials for GT 2.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the funny thing. The themed GTA games like Vice City and San Andreas. Vice City obviously set in 80s/late 70s, Vice Miami. San Andreas is very much 90s Los Angeles. And I think that's partly why those two were massively successful. Just all the little, not so much references, but just that nostalgia trip of going back to all these things that are now all of a sudden cool again. Yeah. Which is blowing my mind.
So other than the GTA games, like what other ones were you like playing at the time?
At that point, you still had Street Fighter was still hanging around, not well, mind you. Obviously, Halo was the big thing, the original Call of Duty line.
Oh yeah. Did you ever play Doom?
Yeah, dabbled in Doom for a little bit, and then PC-wise, you had anything and everything at that point. But for me, it was, StarCraft, a little bit of SimCity.
Do you remember your first gaming system?
First thing I had was both the OG Game Boy, the big brick, and then the original Nintendo. Started with that, went to N64, had every iteration of the Game Boy minus the couple versions of the Game Boy Advance. Jumped to PS2, PS3, Xbox One, and PS4. And then I've got the 2 classic Nintendo consoles for the NES and the SNES.
I got the SNES, and I got a PS4 and an Xbox One.
Yeah.
It was like, what do you want for your birthday? This.
I mean,
if they're gonna say, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Hey, this is what I want."
right.
It's expensive, yes, I know, but if you can get it, great. If not, well, we'll figure something else out.
Right. Yeah, never had a Dreamcast.
Nope, didn't do that one.
Didn't have a Super Nintendo. So that's partly why I got the retro mini.
I had the NES because my dad had one when he was a kid, so he just kind of passed it on to us. It still worked.
Right.
And then because my mom worked at a resale shop, and this was like also like in the mid '90s when resale shops and garage sales were like a big thing.
I mean,
so when she worked at the resale shop, she would just the people were donating their SCNS and their Sega Genesis and their whatever console we were kind of looking for. We would wait a few weeks and they would just pop at the resale shop and we would just grab them.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, cool. I remember NBA Jam where the the ball would turn into fire and from downtown.
Yeah.
I know that stuff. So
I miss those days.
those were fun days.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all can hear it, but Backstreet Boys is playing right now. I grew up. This was before I knew music.
Right.
Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and were the ones I kind of listened to in the '90s. Did you grow up listening to a lot of music?
I think really my musical taste evolved when I got into high school. I mean, by default, I think most of us all started on, well, most 90s kids probably started on Kiss FM here. And then it morphed into The Edge, which is no longer in business.
Nope.
RIP.
It's been 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years this year, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
The station is still there, it's just no longer Edge.
Yeah.
I used to listen to the Lex and Terry show on that channel.
Yeah, Lex and Terry was good times.
I actually know Sarah Morgan. She comes to Alamo every once in a while. So then she went off to 2 years to work for Carnival Cruise, and then she's back in town. So
there you go.
she's pretty cool.
And then obviously the Eagle, which is the only way you can get most of your alternative fix, but I forget what 103.7 is, but they're slowly coming along, bringing that back. But generally now my musical taste is mostly 80s, 90s, either rock, metal. Most of the stuff today doesn't really do anything for me. Not that there's anything wrong with.
Not a fan of Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber, or any rapper with the name Little in front of them. No,
bro, it's not that. It's
Post
not,
Malone.
Well, Post Malone's all right. I can.
Freddie.
I can. Post Malone, I can put up with to a point.
Now what's it like Little Nas or Little Xanax or Little Little Gel Time, Little Tattooed Face, whatever.
Yeah, the state of rap right now.
Mumble rap.
Not even that, just rap in general. Just
I saw.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
I saw a quote that somebody told Eminem like, Lil Wayne said God sent him here to save rap, and it was like, I don't remember sending anybody. I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
I'll give him that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the state of rap music right now is not good. Not good. Like, I don't know. Maybe it'll get out of the hole that it's in. I don't know. It's kind of whatever at this point.
So we're here in Dallas.
Yeah.
But you're wearing an Astros shirt.
Again, the 90s were weird. Because before television blackouts, my friends, I could watch both. So this is very much a thing for me.
So obviously you grew up with sports, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Were you? I called myself like a nerdy jock because I played a little bit of football when I was in like middle school and all that.
Yeah.
I love sports, but at the same time I could also go and like watch, I don't know, like Batman or Star Wars.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah.
Would you say you were kind of the same way growing up, a nerdy jock?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which was at the time a very
rare.
It was an oxymoron.
Rare thing.
You either were a jock and you pushed the nerds into the lockers.
Yeah.
Or you were the nerd that got pushed into the locker, so you're either or.
Yeah.
Did you grow up watching sports?
Oh yeah.
what was kind of like? Did you play sports growing up?
Yeah.
What'd you play?
Baseball, soccer, basketball, and then football, middle school, and then wrestled in high school.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wrestled in high school. Oh, I wrestled like freshman year in high school.
Yeah.
I was in the best shape I will ever be in my life. So no, okay. Let me tell you. Our warm up, even before we started actual training, our warm up was we had to run 3 miles.
Yeah.
And then we did 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups. We were in a room that was probably about 25 yards.
Yeah.
So we had to roll forwards, roll backwards.
Yeah, did that.
Crab walk forwards, crab walk backwards.
Did that.
Handstand forward, handstand back. And then we had to shoot forward, shoot backwards.
Yeah.
Shadow wrestle for 5 minutes. I think we had to do 50 jumping jacks. Then we started practice.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And we had to do it all in under an hour.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds
So.
I mean, yeah.
And then we would practice for like 2-3 hours. So.
Yeah.
Or we would lift weights for 2-3 hours. So.
Yeah. Football practice has nothing on wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah, it's hot, but at least you get breaks.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like you're not wearing pads, no real helmet other than the thing for your ears.
Yeah.
Like,
you feel everything.
Yeah, like that was the most demanding thing I had ever done athletically, just because of what's involved and what that particular skill set is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Did you get into high school wrestling because of WWE?
Not really. It was more of I kind of wanted to do something with the last 2 years of high school. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna try it. Junior year, had a good time with it. Then, wait, was it my junior or was it sophomore year that I started? Might have been sophomore. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look it up. I've slept and consumed a lot of alcohol since then.
Yay, drinks.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, it was some of the best fun I'd ever had for what it was worth. I mean, yeah, hardest thing I ever did. Glad I did it. It was fun to compete a little bit again for that last little bit of my
high school years.
Yeah, that last little bit of my time in high school. So.
Did you go to a lot of baseball games or football games growing up?
Baseball, definitely. Hockey, when the Stars came to town. Football, kind of aside from the Snow Bowl and Cowboys, Dolphins, Miami.
Oh, you were at that game?
Yeah.
You were at that.
Shut up.
I've never known someone to be at that game.
Up.
Oh my God, my day just got so much better.
Oh, no. It gets worse. It gets worse. Care to guess where me and my family were sitting?
Right in front of, right there in the end zone.
Mm-hmm. Yes, in the end zone. That happened in front of my face. Thanks.
Were you crying?
Thanks.
Did you cry? Maybe?
Oh no, I was pissed. I was a very, very angry kid. Like, yeah, that I hate having to relive that highlight every Thanksgiving.
So did you grow up with sports here in Dallas, how did Astros fan become about? Well, I mean, you're in Dallas. Like, yeah. What the hell?
So again, back in the '90s, you didn't have the TV blackouts like you do now. So it wasn't. It might have been Fox Sports by then. I don't remember. But every now and again on the alt channel, you would get the Astros games. So I got to see Bagwell, Biggio, Randy Johnson, Ken Caminetti, on top of Juan Gonzalez, Pudge Rodriguez, Rusty Greer, all the '90s Rangers. So
a little bit of A-Rod there.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. So inevitably, I ended up falling in love with both, which at the time was easy because American League, National League.
Yeah.
And then Bud Selig happened. Yeah.
Do you get shit about it?
Oh God, yes, absolutely. It's like,
So, all right, gun to your head. If one team had to disband, Rangers or Astros?
Rangers.
Damn. They didn't even hesitate.
Sorry.
They didn't even hesitate.
Nope.
Man.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Wow. Okay.
Jeff Bagwell, Craig Biggio are my guys. I mean, between those playoff runs in the 90s, which the Rangers did the same exact thing, more or less, and then the mid-2000s, the back and forth with Atlanta, the back and forth with St. Louis, the 05 National League pennant, the 05 World Series, where we got roasted. But 2017 was good.
I bet it was.
Yeah, I never thought I'd see the day.
Okay, so they got roasted in 05. What was it like watching the Rangers one fucking strikeout away from winning it back in 2010?
Oh, that was devastating.
What was the biggest heartbreak? The Astros losing or the Rangers losing?
Comparatively, the Rangers one was worse because they had it in their hand. Whereas when we played that White Sox team, like, we just got our asses kicked.
Yeah.
Like, that was a no contest. We got beat.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather, I mean, I'll be angry, but I would rather lose 4 in a row and just get legitimately beat versus
beating yourself.
Yeah, beating yourself. Because beating yourself sucks.
One strike away.
Yeah, one strike, one out, twice.
Twice. I remember I was watching this at the time at my pastor's house, and I think it was the Giants.
Yeah, it was Giants 2010.
Okay, so I remember.
So it's 2011 against St. Louis. Giants was 2010.
Okay, 2010 then. It was the Rangers were up by 1 run, and then it was top of the 9th.
Yeah.
And they scored 2.
Yeah.
They hit a 2-run home run.
Yeah.
Go to the bottom of the 9th. Josh Hamilton hits a 1-run home run.
Yeah.
So we're tied again, and we're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
We go to
it was
top of the 10th, and no, it was no, it was the bottom of the 10th.
It was bottom 10. It was bottom 10 because Hamilton had just tied the.
Yeah,
Hamilton just gave us the lead back.
Yeah, on the top of the 10th. That's right.
Yeah.
Because I got the things mixed up.
Yeah, you got it back. It's all right.
And then they had one person on, I believe, second base, and they were up, and we were tied, 1 strike away.
And then Freeze does what he does, and then Freeze lines it out.
Yeah,
and
for a single for him, but it's an RBI. And then again, we're 1 out away, 1 strike away, and Nelson Cruz does whatever the fuck he does and just jumps.
Yeah.
And
instead of just
there goes the game.
Yeah, instead of just eating the wall like he should have. Yeah, that's a horrible way to lose. Like, it's better for me. It's better to just get beat and be beaten, as opposed to having it drawn out and just getting yourself beat. Like, yeah, not a good time.
Do you have any teams outside of like Astros and Texas to root for? Like, I'm a Rangers fan, and then because I hate the Yankees, I root for the Red Sox. Plus, I mean, I like the whole 2004.
It's the
2007.
It's the Yankees.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the big thing is the other big thing for me is soccer. So English Premier League and Liverpool.
Oh, that's right. I love seeing your posts about that.
Yeah.
And I also love trolling you about it too.
Yeah, I know you do. But 6, baby. 6.
Tom Brady?
No, 6 Champions Leagues.
Oh, okay. You say 6, I think of Tom Brady because he's got his 6 rings.
Who cares about Tom Brady?
Do you think Cowboys are going to go on a long run this year? No?
See, this is the bad thing about NFL. Like, I care about NFL football, but it's nowhere near what it was. I mean, college ball is by far a better product now. I mean, it.
I think they're part of it, though.
I don't know. We'll see.
I think part of it, though, for the NFL, that it got safer, which is good.
Yeah.
Which,
well, somewhat safer, but you know.
I mean,
it's football.
Yeah.
It's football.
It's a dangerous sport, yes, but at the same time, like, especially with what we know now, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, like, don't hit each other in the head. And yeah, some of the quarterback crap is like, you have to be very particular how you hit them.
Yeah.
You can't drop them to the ground. I'm like, well, he didn't drop him to the ground. He like tapped them. And yeah, some of the rules are kind of like, okay, that's being way too safe. Like, yes, you're going to get hit.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to fall down. You're going to get hurt sometimes. But at the same time, it's like they're not trying to kill you either anymore. Like it was in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So
yeah, the black and blue days.
Yeah, and it's no bounty gate.
Well, yeah, not that, obviously. Yeah, I mean, like I still love the Cowboys to death in spite of Jerry Jones, but it's kind of whatever at this point. I mean, just win a damn playoff game.
That won't happen. Well, we'll win a
I mean,
playoff
it
game.
did, but
we won't win
you know.
in Super Bowl till Jerry Jones is gone, I think, because he is
Probably.
the GM. So
yeah, GM owner. I'm king of the mountain or whatever.
he needs to go like Vince does. Just go away.
Just go away. Just go away. Go away, Jerry. That'd be great.
Maybe they're trying to outlast each other. Who can stay with the company the longest? I mean, they are friends.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
So we both work at Alamo Draft House.
Yes.
And you love movies.
Yes.
Do you remember how you got into movies as a kid? Do you remember kind of like what your first movie was?
Yeah. First movie I ever watched was 101 Dalmatians at the Dollar Theater.
The animated or the live
Animated,
action?
the original.
Okay.
The original. Like, we had this old Dollar Theater not too far from our house that every now and again they would do old school stuff like we do at Alamo, and that just happened to be the first thing that I ever watched. And then it started with my favorite actor, Tom Hanks, and his lovely, lovely catalog. And then it evolved into the great, not just great year in film with 1999, but everything leading up to 99. You know, Disney's animated line, Pixar, Jurassic Park, just, yeah, the quote-unquote, and I think we can legitimately say probably the last true golden era of film, probably from the 90s up until about, probably 2005, 2006, if we're being generous.
2005 was The Departed, so yeah, I'll give it that.
Because at that point, by the time I got out of high school, I was just so disinterested with film because there was just
garbage.
Yeah, literal garbage, and it was like you would get, and this is, I mean, and granted, this is how it's done now. You generally get one, maybe two, quote-unquote blockbuster films a month now.
Yeah.
Maybe three, depending on the year. And I thought it was funny how you had the back and forth, because at that point, television was ridiculously good.
Yeah.
And I got into a lot of TV, like FX, just between Justified, Terriers, Suits on USA.
Suits.
Like...
Burn Notice.
Yeah, Burn Notice. Law, the occasional Law and Order season here and there, but just it's weird how that's kind of shaken out now, where television was good, movies were bad, and now it's kind of just it's a ping pong ball now. But again, what's old is new again, because Lion King's in a week.
Yep.
That's going to be a fun disaster, maybe.
Aladdin was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, Aladdin was great for what it was.
Yeah.
For what it was, Aladdin was an amazing film. Like, as long as you don't think about the animated movie, you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
Which seems to be a problem with certain people that have seen Lion King. It's like, y'all, it's not the animated movie.
It's its
own thing.
It's a retelling of the story, but I don't care what people say. It is live action. Yes, I know it is mostly CGI, but yes, it is live action.
I mean, it's as close to live action as you're ever going to get with something like that now.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to crying my eyes out. I saw the Broadway version at Dallas Music Hall one year, and Circle Alive, the first 5 minutes, I was in tears.
See, I got to see that in the I got to see that in the UK, in London, on a Boy Scout trip. It was the first theater production I'd ever seen, and
gorgeous.
Jesus, like as soon as the giraffe heads came down, I was like, oh God, what is happening? Like, it is the most surreal thing, because they walk out and then they dip the heads into the first few rows of the crowd, and it's just...
A rhino walked right by me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, that's a rhinoceros. That's so cool.
Yeah, right? It's one of the best productions I've ever seen.
So you mentioned Tom Hanks, his catalog. Someone who had never seen anything Tom Hanks, you said, okay, watch this film first of him.
Ooh.
All right, you know what? I'll change it up.
No, that's good. That's good. I like that.
Top 3 films.
For Tom Hanks?
Yeah, it's like, okay, if we're going to watch Tom Hanks, watch these 3 films first.
Forrest Gump.
Okay.
Big.
Okay. Which I still need to see.
And this might be the cheese answer, but You Got Mail.
Okay.
Just to get variety in there.
Okay.
Because you get, obviously, his breakout movie with Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
And then you get his early days with Big and a little bit of comedy. And then You Got Mail, yeah. Why not add a little bit of the romance and the quote-unquote the early days of the internet and email, which obviously you could flip. I mean, that's the great thing about his catalog. You could flip any of that, like any of those movies, with literally whatever you want, whether it's Saving Private Ryan, The Burbs,
The Burbs.
Philadelphia, but that's really a Denzel movie.
Yeah. I would say, for me, I would tell people watch Forrest Gump, because that's like, I mean, that was an Oscar-winning performance.
Oh.
Forrest Gump, and then Catch Me If You Can.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot about that
and
one.
The Terminal.
Oh, yeah. Terminal's great, despite it getting bashed. Like,
it was a great film.
Oh, it's a great movie.
And, I mean, he did the accent he had to portray for that film. I'm like, I don't see Tom Hanks. I see Victor Kafowski.
Yeah.
Kafowski, whatever.
Whatever his last name was.
Yeah.
Nobody can pronounce it.
But I was like, he sounds like he really is from that region of Europe or Russia, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was made up part of Europe or whatever.
So it's like somewhere over there by like Romania, Ukraine, all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I mean, fantastic movie.
Yeah, so I would say like for live action like that, and of course, I say, hey, watch Toy Story, because it's Toy Story.
Oh yeah, it's Toy Story. It's Toy Story.
What other actors kind of really made you fall in love with film, other than Tom Hanks, or actresses?
Pierce Brosnan's 007.
Okay.
Halle Berry.
Do you love Catwoman? Or did we not talk about Catwoman?
We don't. Come on, man. We're nerds. We don't talk about Catwoman. Some nerds do, but they don't talk about it like.
Yeah.
Oh, the cringe. The cringe is real. Nope. Not going down that hole. God, who else?
All right, because right now everyone's in love with him.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves.
You know, it's kind of been fun to see him come back. I mean, because honestly, if we're honest about it, Matrix was like it for him, and in some ways ruined him as far as the last 2 films went. And then I'm trying to think in between Wick and now.
He did
like
the movie Day After. The day there stood still.
Was he? Oh, that's right. He was in the Day the Earth Stood Still remake. Still haven't watched that. I need to watch that.
Do you though?
I mean, just cause. I mean, I've heard it's a mixed bag of nonsensical stuff.
Oh, he also did Constantine.
Oh yeah, Constantine. I forgot about Constantine. But
I enjoyed that. I mean, going into it, I didn't know anything about the comic book or anything like that, so I went into it and I thought it was great.
Yeah. I think the last thing before Wick that I really enjoyed him in was Scanner Darkly.
I forgot that was just a Robert Downey Jr., wasn't it? And
Was it supposed
Ryder.
to be? Was it supposed to be them?
I think it was. No, he's in it.
Oh, is he?
It's the animated live action.
Yeah, it's
one.
yeah.
Downey's in it, and I think Winona Ryder's in it as well. We have to look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch. It's been a minute since I've watched that. I just remember watching it and how trippy that movie was. It was. God, it was a weird movie. I need to rewatch that. That's a good revisit at some point.
Do you have it?
I don't, but I mean, it's not like it's gonna be hard to find.
Yeah, I was like, there's a Hollywood Trading Company right over there.
Yeah,
Movie Trading Company.
Yeah, Movie Trading Co. Probably won't be that hard to find.
No, probably like $2-3.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, seeing him come back like he has, thanks to John Wick and the fact that we're actually getting Bill and Ted 3.
Yeah. Which was his start, and then
Yeah.
Okay, so I put Keanu Reeves in three. He had 3 high points.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted and Speed, and then kind of went away.
Yeah, that's fair.
Matrix. Went away. John Wick.
John Wick. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's fair. That's very fair. A very fair assessment of where he's at. And then, yeah, John Wick 4 when that drops in 2 years.
I'm super. If you've not seen the John Wick movies, go out and go watch them.
Worth your time.
Yeah, especially when the third one comes out, Parabellum comes out on DVD. Catch that like as soon as possible. Because now the guy that he beats up with the book, I almost said beat up because I don't want to give it away, is now plays for the Mavericks, which is cool
and also weird. Hollywood.
So you got onto these movies. Do you remember like your first superhero nerd movie? Did you see the original Batman's first, or did you get into Spider-Man or
the original
Tim Burton?
Yeah, the Tim Burton Batman films, and then obviously the Sony Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. Didn't do Ang Lee's Hulk for very obvious reasons.
X-Men?
Oh yeah, X-Men. Yeah, the first 2 X-Men. Didn't do X3.
Just didn't do it for you?
Again, the 90s cartoon is the best version of Dark Phoenix that we're ever gonna get.
That is true.
Like,
especially
it's
after
this.
Sad,
really.
Especially after this abomination that we got earlier this year.
Yeah.
There's people out there that actually liked it. I'm like, you didn't like it. You're forcing yourself to like it.
Yeah,
it was not.
When all my 90s buddies tell me it's not the cartoon, it's like, well, thanks.
No shit.
How'd you screw that up twice? How? Someone explain that to me.
Avi Arad.
All right, there. That.
See, Freddie, I can be mean to Avi Arad and they'll give you shit about it. He absolutely hates Avi Arad, and he's like, who do I remind you of? And I look at him, I'm like, you look like Avi Arad. He's like, mother. He absolutely hates it. It's awesome, though.
Fair enough. But, yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see where comic book movies were to come to it now, because legitimately, Spider-Man 2, Watchmen, despite what people say.
Okay, wait. Clarify which Spider-Man 2.
Oh, because Raimi Spider-Man 2.
Okay, because we have 3 Spider-Man 2s now.
Yeah. Forgot about that. Yeah, the original
with Doc Ock.
Yeah.
That is my 3rd favorite Spider-Man now. After Homecoming and Far From Home.
Yeah. I mean, between that and despite what people say about the Watchmen adaptation,
I thought it was a great film.
It's literally verbatim. It is more or less verbatim the graphic novel, with apologies to Alan Moore.
Yes.
Sorry. Google that.
Yes.
And if you don't know, you should know.
I was just telling him, Alan Moore, after League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, it's like, nope.
Yeah.
No one else ever make any one of my comics into films, and well, they've done two since.
Yeah,
which was Watchmen, and then they also did
V for Vendetta. No, that was
okay.
before that. That was before that.
And then I was just say Killing Joke.
Oh yeah.
Which was animated, which they kind of fucked up in the beginning, but once they got past like the first like half an hour, then it was like the comic verbatim. So
yeah,
which I loved. I'm like, cool, I'm seeing this, and they brought back Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill for that. So
yeah.
Okay, I have to ask you this because everyone else has mentioned this. Star Wars. Was that kind of your introduction into some nerd stuff? Did you get into Star Wars early on, or
my intro to quote unquote space opera was Star Trek.
Star Trek? Okay.
Yes.
One of the few that says Star Trek before Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I think you're the first one to say Star Trek first.
Next Gen, DS9, Voyager, and then going backwards and watching the original series and the cartoon of the original series.
I didn't know there was a cartoon.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I don't. Okay.
Horribly animated, but fantastic.
See, I'm a fan of Star Trek, and I do this because I've only seen the movies, the recent ones, the ones by J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
So I'm a Trekkie, but I'm not really a Trekkie.
Right.
Because I've only seen 1, 2, and a little bit of Beyond. Because, well, I was like, oh, I better as well finish off the series. That's the reason why I finished off Twilight, because I'm like, I saw the first one, I'm like, might as well.
Why would you torture yourself?
There was a pretty girl involved.
Okay.
And I was 18.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. Nope. That's fair. That's fair. I'll leave it alone. That's fair.
You know, the things you do when you think you're in love at 18.
Yeah?
But you got into Star Trek first and then Star Wars later on.
Yeah, Star Wars came later. It started with, we had the VHS tapes for the original 3, and then obviously 99 and Phantom Menace. Went and watched that in the theater.
Did you like Phantom Menace at first when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, yeah.
Now?
Not good, fam. Not
I
good.
still love it.
Like, Attack of the Clones is better.
No.
Yes.
No.
Between 1 and 2,
No.
yes. Come on.
No. We get Duel of the Fates, and we get Darth Maul, and we get pod racing.
Pod racing is great as a video game. In movie context,
the only thing good that we got out of Attack of the Clones was a very brief cameo of Jango Fett, because that's exactly what it was.
Well, yeah.
And we saw Yoda jump around like a frog. That was it. That's the only good thing that came out of the movie. I don't like sand; it gets everywhere.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That nonsense.
And we got Qui-Gon. We got Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn, the Jedi Master.
I mean,
sure, Jar Jar was there, and you know what? I don't care what people say. I still like Jar Jar.
I mean, one's problem is the whole storyline setting up. Well, not setting up Old Republic versus New Republic, but the quote-unquote, basically setting up the world of the Empire versus the old guard at the time. That's the problem with that movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Attack of the Clones, I mean, come on, we all love Stormtroopers. We all love the Stormtroopers.
But they weren't Stormtroopers, they were clone troopers.
Well, you know what? All right, semantics. I hate when you do that. And then 3 was...
Because the clone troopers could actually hit stuff.
All right, I got nothing. He's right. I got nothing.
They could actually aim and shoot because they were the clones of a Mandalorian. So.
Well, yeah, that's fair enough.
And the stormtroopers, as far as we know, are not.
Well, we know that now.
No, yeah.
But that's just where the franchise is now. But yeah, I mean, I love both equally. I mean, I'm excited for Rise of Skywalker, which will hopefully close this chapter of Star Wars so that we can get
past Skywalker.
Not so much past Skywalker. I'm just ready for. I'm ready for some of the other things that are, that are no longer canon now, like Old Republic or.
Mara Jade.
Yeah, or even going back to like some of the Jedi Order stuff. Just any of that. Like I'm ready for something new, and
Are you excited for the Mandalorian show for the Disney Plus?
That's gonna be interesting. I'm interested to see what they do with that, especially since there's outside of the casting call and knowing who's in it, because we know absolutely nothing as of yet as far as that stuff goes. I mean, it's the same with the Marvel shows and what's gonna happen with all that now. I'm excited for all of it. It's just kind of hard to know what to be excited for, since we really don't know
we have a few
what
images.
we're gonna get.
Yeah, we have a few images. We have the cast, and we have the release date. So, all right, 2 more questions.
right.
Did you watch the Christmas special for Star Wars? Have you seen that abomination?
I've seen said abomination be roasted by critics, but I've never sat down and watched it.
I might
through.
have to change that. I think I still have it somewhere. It's a
I remember you telling me that
it's
you
a little
have
copy of it that I got from Devin Pike.
It's so bad, so bad.
I sat through it twice.
Again
With commercials.
Why would
Did you know a car back in 1978 was $500? Brand new car.
Sounds about right.
Underwear was like 50 cents. They had a
Okay.
thing for pantyhose. It was like $1 maybe. There was the
All right,
commercials
random.
and everything. Yeah. And I
Random.
was like, okay, cool. Like they have underwear commercials in the middle of the Star Wars special.
Well, the Sears catalog. I mean,
Yeah. Second question.
Jesus.
Tarantino wants to do an R-rated Star Trek.
Yes.
If that happens, it will be not only his 10th film, which he has said he will stop after 10 films.
Sure, buddy.
We've got 9 coming up this year.
Yes.
With Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes.
If he were to do Star Trek, do you think, one, he would push the R rating on it? Would it be more of his spaghetti western type of film? And will it be his last film? And if it is, would it be an awesome swan song for him?
So, if it is his last, yes, it would be a great swan song, because I am desperate to see him try it. But if he does do it, and we've talked about this before, if he's going to do Star Trek and if he's going to do it R-rated, for me and how Tarantino does his movies and what he's all about, if it's not the Mirror episode from the original series, if it's not that, then boy, you better come up with something good. Because to me, looking at the Star Trek episodes, if you're looking for something to turn quote-unquote rated R, you're either looking at the Borg episodes, you're looking at some of the Klingon stuff with the war, or trying to avoid the war, and then after that, you're going back to the original series, and you're going back to the Mirror episode where you have the Enterprise crew face off with their evil versions of themselves. Like,
I would want to see that.
and just running through my head of all the episodes I've watched, it's like there's few and far between that I could see being turned rated R and getting a good solid film out of it. I mean, I'm sure some people would argue for Q and some of his stuff, but that kind of changes his character fundamentally, because he's more of a, granted, there are a few episodes where it's borderline, but
Yeah.
his character is comedy. He likes anarchy, he enjoys chaos. But it never got too dangerous, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Tarantino's always been a weird cat. Like he's
okay with the cast. Say the cast that's currently in the last 3 films comes back, with of course with the exception of Anton Yelchin, because obviously. But from the current cast, if 2 of them had to die in the movie, who would you kill off?
Ooh. Man, you could go a lot of ways with that.
Because I got 2 in my head.
Yeah, in my head, my first one would be Uhura.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
Just because of what they've set up between her and Spock in this iteration.
Yeah.
Maybe Scotty, but I don't think that would have that much of an impact. You could do Sulu, but that's a cop out.
I would kill Uhura and Kirk again. I have Sulu come up become captain.
That could be fun.
But I would kill off Kirk again, and then if you this version of Star Trek, I know it's Kirk instead of Spock dying. So
yeah,
and I would do that just so make Spock a little more human. Have more tragedy in his life.
Not that he's already not there, or at least this version. That'd be, I don't know, because I'm wrong. I love Jonathan. His last name is, what is it? Chow or Cho?
John Cho. Yeah.
Yeah, I love John Cho. It's just, if Star Trek was to keep going, I personally can picture him leading.
Yeah.
But I don't see that film getting greenlit by Paramount. That's the crummy thing about it. I just don't see that getting a green light. I don't know.
But at least
it's weird.
But at least we agree on Uhura.
Yeah.
She would have to go, unfortunately.
I mean, she doesn't have to, but it's the
logical.
It's the logical from a plot device standpoint.
It is the logical answer to that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You would. But yeah, from a plot device and story, yeah, I mean, it's the way you go with it. If you want to create some impact down the line, if they can even salvage this franchise at this point.
Yeah, because Beyond kind of...
I mean, Beyond wasn't... was it bad? Was it horrible? Not really.
But I mean, after the height of Into the Darkness... Because Star Trek, okay, I like.
I like it, but again, Ricardo Montalban. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, Andre, thank you so much. You are actually my longest interview yet.
Not surprisingly.
A little over an hour, so awesome. Well, Andre, thank you so much. Where can people find you on social media? Do you have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
I got a Facebook for me and my friends. Instagram, I have it, I just don't use it that much. I've got a Twitter account.
Do you use that often or not really?
I mean, every now and again, but, work. Because the movie business is fun.
So if you want to see Andre and myself, come by Alamo Draft Lake Highlands, and we'll talk about movies and stuff. Wrestling, Astros, Rangers.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, so yeah, come on out. Awesome, man. Well, Andre, thank you again for coming out. And as always... keep on nerding.
Keep on nerding, people.